Hey yo everybody, Haku here with my live reaction for 12 Beast Chapter 22, and it's been a while, hasn't it? Yeah, I was like, I especially hope nobody is subbed to the channel only for 12 Beasts. Well, I mean, I hope you are if that's what you want to be subbed for. But I was like, because I've been posting all these other videos and we haven't had a 12 Beast chapter in quite a while. It's like that whole bi-monthly thing is a killer now that I think the translations are essentially caught up to where it's actually releasing. And I really hope these translators keep translating for this series because I'm loving it. I am really excited to see what we get to go through here. It's been a while, but last time we were in the cave with it was a really well written chapter. I remember that much. We were in the cave with Ada and Flake, and it was really good. So yeah, let's see what's going on for chapter 22. And of course, this is the live reaction and the review both in one video. So once we read it the first time, I'll go over it a bit in this video. So what lurks in the darkness? Is it hope or despair? 12 Beast 22. Okay. Something strange is happening in the cave where Flake and Ada thought they were alone. The story thus far. Ada's army was successful in driving back the human army. However, a surprise counterattack stranded Ada and Flake together. Things quickly got heated between them, but a suspicious presence inside the cave now grabs their attention. There's something, says Flake. Inside, says Ada. What the hell would be able to scrape bedrock and dig this cave out? Violent underground beast Mogradon? The mysterious jeweled insect Mimsgira? What kind of monster is that? Says Ada. Flake, your nose. It's fine, isn't it? Why couldn't you smell it before? Chapter 22, The Cave's Golem. This is impossible. Living things always leave some kind of trace. The smell is something that is intrinsic to them. And yet why can't I smell anything? Anyway, we need to check. Is there really something in there? Are you prepared? She says. And then he takes cover behind her. Oh my gosh. So cute. What the fuck? The fuck you hiding for? Man the fuck up and go first, yells Flake. Fuck that. If you say there aren't any monsters ahead, then you go first. That's right, there shouldn't be any monsters, but there's still something. That's why I don't want to go. Well, I don't want to go even more. It's fine, so just go first, fag. Ladies first, and then he trips her. And then she falls on him. Why did it turn into a slope midway? And they start falling down into the cave. And then, of course, booby shot. Move, Oda, she says, punching him in the gut. Isn't that a common occurrence by now? And he's just coughing. They both turn around. We have something coming towards them. And holy shit, it's a legit, this looks like, you remember the rock golem from, oh my gosh, what was it? Was it Yu-Gi-Oh? That's what it looks like. Blast from my childhood. Okay? Well, what's this? Is it just a stone statue? I was sure it was going to be a boss monster or something. It's funny. I was sure that I heard a groan just now. Was it just the wind? See? I told you, didn't I? There's nothing here, says Flake, and yet you were still terrified. How pathetic. But why is this here? She says. It almost looks like this statue made the cave. Well, what kind of nonsense are you blabbering? I'm sure some werewolf from another village made this cave and the statue, right? Denied. I am not a statue, and I dug this cave, says the golem. And they both screech, jumping into each other. And I thank you. Your bonfire allowed me to successfully restart. I have a proposal. Can you let me get closer to the fire? Their faces. Thank you, says the golem. I have delayed that too long. I am a golem. Series numbers 10038. While exploring this snow mountain, I was attacked and took heavy damage. I managed to make this cave and take refuge deep in it, but the freezing temperatures forced me to shut down. There really are golems, says, or that's a fantasy land for you, says Ada. But why were you in this mountain? Reply denied. That is private information I cannot answer. How cold. I am sorry. I do not have body warmth like living creatures. What a serious idiot, says Flake. I can't get into the conversations, she's thinking. Oh my gosh, Flake is the best. Fuck, I just can't get into people's conversations. Somehow it feels like I ruin anything that doesn't involve me. And it shows bitter memory of all the werewolves talking and her just sitting behind a tree. Besides, since there's a lot of unknown factors, I can't even simulate properly. Unknown factors, Gollum. Hard to predict his reactions, Ada. Can't deal with it, Flake. In the first place, I couldn't even talk properly one-on-one, so 1 against 2 is hopeless, isn't it? Fuck, even if the blizzard is an hour long, nothing to do but wait for it to stop. By the way, when do you think this blizzard will end, says Ada. Weather forecast is not what I was made for, so there might be a small miscalculation, but it'll probably last a few days, says, the Gollum. Weh, says, Ada, a few days. So I'll feel this desolate for days? Don't fuck with me, thinks Flake. I need a plan. I don't want us to turn into canned goods. Canned goods, she says, looking over. That's it. If we're going to stay here for days, we need to eat. There's a truck full of goods outside by the landslide where we fell in. So let's go pick up some food. The Gollum can stay here and guard the fire. That's it. This is my only chance, she thinks. Even if it's forced, I need to get him one-on-one or I'll die mentally. Oi, she says, there's no time for simulations anymore. I'll attack now. Wow, just when I was wondering how you dug out this cave, your arm turns into a drill. What? Is this a romance weapon? Says, Ada. Question, what is a romance weapon? I can transform my body the more I use it. So, and then, transform, awesome. Or Gollum's the personification of romance. And we just see Flake in the background looking. I'll go get some food, she says, walking off. Alright, there's a blizzard out there, so be careful, says Ada. This is so... Flake's character is so incredibly well written. I just can't even get over it. It might be the most well written character personality-wise. Not just that I like the personality, but that the personality is so detailed. Like, this is the most detail I've seen put into a personality ever. And they didn't even focus on the other characters' personalities like they did like for Flake. It's just so well written. I love it. By the way, I have a request, says the Gollum. Could you help me restore my interior? Sure, but how do I do that? Get rocks as tough as possible. I can absorb and turn them into materials for fixing my damaged parts. There are not any suitable rocks around me, so you would be doing me a favor. But what could open such a big hole in that body? What the hell is the enemy? Says Ada. Perhaps a Gigas? Yes, says the Gollum, but not just any Gigas. A giant divine general. The rider, Hunter, and the 10th general, Vajra. A giant divine general who controls light. Its light bombardment is fearfully strong, enough to pierce my armor. Light bombardment, is that perhaps that time, Ada thinks. I have a question. Are you also aiming for Hunter? Says the Gollum. I thought the reason he stopped chasing me after I hid here was because I managed to shake him off, but when I think about it, the layout of this area changed, did it not? Is he aiming for the werewolves? Thinks Ada. I've thought about techniques against normal soldiers, but against a Gigas, there's nothing I could do. I need to reunite with everyone as soon as the blizzard stops, but how? I'm at the base of this mountain range, and the distance and the path are far too harsh. Besides, there's no car like last time. What the hell should I do to get back to the village? And then he looks back and sees Flake carrying a tire filled with cans. What? She says. He grabs the tire full of cans. Oi! I brought it. Don't seize it to yourself. There's more outside, so go get yourself some. Flake, is there something outside? Ah, it's obvious there's food. Besides, there's a broken car, a maintenance room. That's it, he says, yelling. Flake, let's bring in everything that's outside. What is up with that? Hey, I'm already going. Hurry up. I guess I can't help it. And then we see the Gigas and the human troops back at their infirmary tents. How dreadful. All of the materials for the relay base were stolen by the werewolves. The soldiers who rode on the Gigas' back were all exposed to the wind, so they caught colds. And the Gigas' magical power is almost exhausted, so it can barely move. To make matters worse, stories about the werewolves' counterattack have left the soldiers fearing for their lives. In the first place, the morale is so low because we were all cowering behind the Gigas. If that's so, you could just ask for another Gigas as reinforcement, Major. Don't spout stupid things, he says. Gigas are special weapons only the Yasuna can use. It's not something you can just call in. Then, I guess I'm a windfall, says somebody walking in, I'm assuming to be Hunter. Yup. Orders just came back from the black-clothed man. Give me the information on the prey. I'm also hunting another prey. I'll leave that to you for a while. Yo, the hype for Hunter. Ooh, the Gigas' rider, Hunter Dono. Who rides a divine general? To think I'd be able to receive someone as important as this. Major, I've heard rumors that he has already attacked the werewolves. What did you say? That's reassuring. By all means, come with us. Let us hunt some werewolves. I refuse. That is not my prey, says Hunter. What? In the first place, that attack was to prevent the goods you idiots left behind from being snatched. I wasn't aiming for the werewolves themselves. My prey is... And then we see this huge beast running into the camp, and the soldiers are screaming, A Yeti lizard, why is it here? Those idiots. Are they outside the demarcation? This is bad, our guns won't work on its scales. Hurry up and start the Gigas. Wait. There's no need for that, says Hunter. Then the lizard comes at him, points the gun, shoots it straight in the face. However, or maybe he shot it in the neck? However, the skin on its neck is exposed. The skin on its neck is exposed. Its scales are really strong. Even a rifle's bullet can't pierce them. Okay. That guy, alone against that monster, and with just a single shot. But when did he set that trap? Okay, hold on, hang on. I must have missed something. See, it looks like it's running towards him, and then he just shoots it in... Oh, its neck gets pulled back by a rope trap, and he shoots it in the neck. Got it. That guy, alone against that monster, and with just a single shot. But when did he set that trap? There are traps all throughout the woods. Does that mean that the area inside the woods is already this man's territory? Major, says Hunter. Be careful, he's still not dead. Eh? It pierced the neck, but was stopped by the skull. It didn't pierce through, it only gave it a cerebral concussion. Then why won't you finish it? And then we see the general coming in, it looks like. So the Gigas comes in. Feeding time. And the Gigas starts to eat the lizard. Amazing. He might even win against that ninja. Ninja? Ah yes, he wears a red gauntlet and jumps around. That's a ninja, isn't it? I don't know why, but he's fighting with the werewolves. He fucking ruined all our vehicles and destroyed our supply base. I see. If that's true, then fighting against the werewolves might not be so bad after all, says Hunter, pulling up his hood. Major. Yes, says the Major. I'll borrow a few trucks. I'm going wolf hunting. Oh man, so freaking badass. A few days later. The blizzard finally stopped. I need to find them quickly, says Arrow. It's cold. I'll end up freezing to death before them. That cave, there's smoke coming out of there. It might be them. Ada-san, Flake-san, she says, running in. Ah! And they're both frozen. Ah! What a thing to happen. They ended up freezing to death. If I had found them sooner. No, if I heat them up now, I might revive them. And then they break apart into a bunch of little pieces. And she holds the hand. Right, this isn't Ada-san. I hit something else. What the heck? Don't escape from reality, Ada says behind her. Ada-san, why? You just broke up into pieces. You broke me into pieces? That was a substitute for when the enemy comes, to earn us some time. Ada-san, how should I say it? You seem fine, right? I seriously thought you'd be playing games again. Well, we have a lot of food, and a lot to do besides. It was fun. I was able to relax a lot mentally. A lot to do. Anyway, are the werewolves fine? Oh, that's it. I'd forgotten. There's a disaster going on. And then we see, oh man, this really nice page of the hunter is aiming from the woods and all the werewolves, or at least the chieftain and the two Smexy, presumably maybe sister werewolves, hiding behind a rock. Locked on target. Hunter's assassin bullet is aiming for his prey. Man, I love the art in this. Okay, that was another great chapter. I don't know if it's hard to say if it was as good as last chapter. Last chapter was really good. But let's go through it. I like this cover. The cover art is pretty nice. Of course, I love starting with Flake and Ada. Like, Flake and Ada are both such enjoyable characters. Especially Flake. Like I said, most well written, really. Then they fall down the hill, of course. Nice booby shot. I love the sequence of Flake punching him in the gut, and then their reaction faces to seeing the golem. Oh my gosh. Then they discuss the golem, of course. And I love when the golem starts speaking to them. Their faces are perfect. So I like the golem too. I hope he sticks around with us. I hope he just comes out of the cave to help them next chapter. Because his personality, just talking to him and being just a serious golem, saying get me some rocks and stuff to repair myself. I hope they ended up repairing Golem. Then, of course, Flake's talking to herself in her head is just freaking genius. I love it. Then we've got Ada freaking out over the ability for the Golem to change his body structure. So yeah, I kind of hope Golem just stays with him in general. He'd be a cool traveling companion. We see our first look at our first real good detailed look at the 10th General Vajra, who I think is the dog general. It looks pretty cool. It looks very different from Indra. So we find out it has light bombardment, and it's what caused that collapse earlier. And then we have yeah, I don't get it. We have Flake coming back with all the food and stuff, and yet he just isn't using it to get back there. I thought that was his plan, but oh well, whatever. So moving on from there, we see the soldiers in the camp, which was kind of the down point of this chapter. I mean, I didn't really care that much about the soldiers or their major, but it was cool to see Hunter interacting with them all, and I love the design. I love how he has a little bit of facial hair, he has that cool mask, and the camouflage cloak is the coolest part. Also his armor. His armor looks, I guess maybe better than Fisherman's did. So far, I love his design. I think his design looks cooler than Fisherman, but I liked Fisherman's personality more. Fisherman was a great freaking bad guy. Fisherman was such a good antagonist for that arc. So, we see him actually take down one of those lizards, showing off his skill some, and he takes it down without killing it so that he can feed it to Vajra. Then Vajra eats the lizard, of course. I almost feel at this point I don't need to say amazing art every single chapter, since the art is really, really good every single chapter. It's just, like I've said, some of the best in manga. It looks so good. There's so many of these images that I just want to save to use for thumbnails and stuff. Man, and then the funny bit at the end with Arrow where she accidentally breaks apart the body doubles. So that was good too. Man, and then the very end we have this really nice final art page of I hope we get names for the chieftain and those two that we see all the time, because those two are click 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 Smexy. So we see those two a lot, the two female werewolves there, and I like those two. We see them hiding behind a rock with the chieftain as as way back in the woods on another one of the cliffs they're being aimed at by the hunter. So yeah, that's it. That's a very quick review of it, but I love this one. If I were to give it a score, at least 9.5. I don't know if I'd give it a perfect score or not, but I'd say at least 9.5, just because Flake's personality is so well written. It's 36 pages long, so it's a really good read. It's a meaty read, but I just love this series a lot. It really works well for me as just an action shonen kind of adventure thing. And I didn't think they overdid the fan service, which is good. I think occasionally the fan service is a little overdone, but just so good. I have no complaints whatsoever about this chapter. Nothing but good things to say. So anyway, like if you guys liked this video, comment down there. Tell me what you guys thought of this chapter and what you thought of my thoughts on it. Oh man, I loved it so much. What you guys think of the series, anything like that. Subscribe for more 12 Beast, Manmusu, One Piece, and a ton of other things. Follow on... Yeah, we haven't had a Manmusu chapter in a while either, dang. Follow on Twitter if you want as well, and I'll try to keep you updated there and stuff for the channel. That is it, so thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.